This is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by top trainer Billy Nelson, a much slimmer Billy Nelson than I saw last time we spoke on Zoom. Billy, how have you done it? We've seen clips on Twitter, but break it down for us.
Just eating so much better and doing daily exercise. Well, sometimes twice a day.
Wow. What prompted it? What made you decide to really hit it so hard?
I was just very uncomfortable in my clothing. In general, just uncomfortable. So time for change, and it's going to be it's going to be going for here to there. I die now. I'll just look after myself a lot better.
We can see how much better you look. How much better do you feel?
Oh, night and day. I mean, I know it's not a lot for many people out there, but doing half an hour runs once and twice a day, sit ups, some rowing, some bike, and it's great. I used to love training, but I went from training to being a coach, and stupidly, but I was a taxi driver at one time as well, and that didn't help as well. That put a lot of weight on when you were sitting just doing nothing. You ate for the sake of eating, and it was just all wrong. And so time to change. And I've done it.
Great stuff. Well done to you. Very impressive stuff. Getting to the coaching aspect of things, how's Big Martin?
He's good. He's over in Dubai just now, sparring Oleksandr Usyk. He says spars went particularly well. I mean, I would have preferred to been over there and gained experience myself with being in their camp, but they don't allow coaches and managers and that in the camp, so you've got to respect their wishes, as I would expect somebody to respect my rules and my gym. So it's just the way it is.
What's Martin told you about how it's going? I'm not asking you to give away any trade secrets, but how's Usyk looking and how's the sparring going?
Well, I'm not really worried how Usyk's looking. It's how Martin Bakole's looking. Martin's nobody's sparring partner. Martin's there to get himself early stages of a camp himself.
Yeah, I mean, what's he told you about how well he's performing then in those sparring sessions?
No, he says he's done really well, as he did last year over in the Ukraine. But he also says that Usyk's, a class act, but we all know that.
Yeah, we do indeed. We've obviously seen a change in AJ's backroom team since the first fight between those two. You're not in camp with Usyk, but you know how good a fighter he is. Do you see Robert Garcia, the addition of him, making much of a difference in the rematch?
It's really hard to tell. There's two ways it could happen. Anthony can revert to type, what he normally does, or he could listen and it may be beneficial what his new coach says. But there's still two coaches in the camp. A boxing coach has one. A boxer has one coach. Still, I mean, you seen yourself in that first fight. 3 voices shouting him. There was a guy shouting. I don't know who the guy was. It wasn't Rob McCracken anyway. It was one of the other guys shouting, "Fantastic, brilliant, this thing and the next thing." And I don't know what he was watching.
Could it ever work? Kind of 2 trainers or more than 2 in the corner?
No.
Have you ever been put in that position? No.
Never. No. And I wouldn't allow it. It will never happen. No one of my fighters anyway.
It's interesting. What about Big Thor? Are you still working with him?
I'm in Iceland just now. I'm in a beautiful apartment he's put me in. It's absolutely stunning. Over the views out that massive window are absolutely fantastic. This is our 3rd week here. A week on Friday we go to Scotland and continue our training camp, and Martin will be meeting us on the 30th, I think. He's back, so he'll be back in the gym on the 1st.
So what are they both working towards at the moment?
Nothing in particular. Well, there may be something in the pipeline for Hathor, but I mean, it's well documented that him and Tyson want to do an exhibition, so I hope that comes off for him. I think it will.
Is that something you'd like to be involved in? Because you're a traditionalist. Exhibitions are kind of a bit new, a bit different, but it's Tyson, you know.
Well, I had the pleasure of spending a month with him in, I think it was March, down in Morecambe. And the month before he fought Dylan White, and what a fighter! What a fighter! What a clever fighter! Like a clever man, really nice man, and I learned so much in that month down in Morecambe. Great experience.
Learning from Tyson specifically, from Sugar Hill, from the whole team. What?
Everybody, Sugar Hill. You know, see if you can just take one or two little things and implement it into your work. Great. And I did.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and I mean, I was asked to. I also had the pleasure of working with Joseph Parker, Tommy Fury, Isaac Lowe, Roman Fury, and there was somebody else. Oh, David Abiyan. They asked me to do some technical stuff with him. No, they're not. People aren't shy to say, "Well, listen, can you show them some technical stuff or drop, give them some advice?" Because we'll think along the same kind of lines, but they're not. You know, there's too many people out there that would never ask you for some advice. And why not? I'm no shy in asking for advice.
With Tyson, what's the kind of things you'd pick out that you were impressed by up close that maybe you wouldn't have seen on TV or when you've watched him from the stands in the past?
Total professionalism when he's in the gymnasium. Total professionalism. And his knowledge. Fantastic.
Wow. Was he testing you with the knowledge?
No, his knowledge of as a fighter. Oh, but
okay.
he's also very
history.
Oh, he's also super clever about the history of the sport. He was telling me, well, not telling me directly, but we're in a discussion about what happened in certain fights and why they happened and why fights were cancelled and what happened in a specific fight, and he had the answers for nearly everything. Brilliant.
Yeah, he's a good guy. One of the reasons I wanted to speak to you was because we had a brief Twitter discussion yesterday about Ryan Garcia against Tank Davis, and I wasn't particularly impressed with Ryan Garcia against Javier Fortuna, which I put online. I thought it's kind of a made-to-order opponent for him, and I thought I didn't see a lot of progression from his previous fights. So I'd still like to see him move his head a bit more, use angles a bit more. And he's been in that Canelo camp. He doesn't seem to have changed that much from being in the Canelo camp, certainly to the eye. But you kind of came back on that and said, you know, maybe we didn't see everything he had to offer because Fortuna wasn't the opponent to bring it out of him, which I think is a fair point. What did you make of his performance?
Garcia done what he had to do. I thought he was oozing with confidence. I think he knew very, very early in the fight that Fortuna couldn't hurt him. And if you know that a guy can't hurt you, you can do what you want when you want, basically. Fortuna wasn't there, in my opinion, he wasn't there to win the fight. I think that's pretty clear to see, wasn't it?
How impressed are you with Garcia generally? I mean, he's still quite early in his career. People talk about him and Tank, but he's had fewer fights than Tank, of course, and a lower level. How impressed are you with his development so far?
Well, for a young guy, he's fantastic, isn't he? I mean, I know you maybe say that he's no improved, but he still stopped a guy that was a good fighter in round
earlier than anyone ever has.
And that left to the body was a peach.
Yeah, great shot.
But I hadn't seen the fight, and about half a minute previous to the when he dropped him with a body shot, I said to Thor, he's going to touch him upstairs and hit a left downstairs because Fortuna's right elbow was coming up to protect himself for the hooks. It was quite clear. I had to pick that up quite easily, and you know, and during the fight, and instructed my fighter to throw that, but he done it himself.
If him and Tank do get on this year, for me it seems too early for Garcia, but he certainly seems to want the fight, which is good to see. How would you see that panning out?
Well, he says he wants to fight. saying you want to fight and actually doing it, maybe too soon for him. Maybe 12 months too early for him. But it'd be a great fight. I mean, that Tank's some fighter as well, isn't he? I mean,
I think Tank's excellent, yeah.
Oh, he's fantastic. But, great fight with two young guys. I mean that division and the one above it, and welterweight, it was light welter, wasn't it? It was light welter.
Yeah, that was. We don't know if he'll go back down to lightweight or stay at light welter, Ryan.
No, he said he's not. He said in an interview that he was staying up at 140.
Could that be a bit of an issue for Tank then? We've seen him at 140, but obviously the higher they go, you'd favour Ryan more as the naturally bigger guy.
Ryan Garcia, you mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't. If I was Tank, I wouldn't be in a great rush to go up just for one specific guy. There's quite a few fights there at lightweight for him, and then let your body tell you need to go up to lightweight, and then light welterweight, and then let your body tell you if he's big enough to go up to, because he's quite a small guy in stature, isn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe welterweight would be. It probably will eventually go to welterweight, but will he carry the power at that weight? I doubt it, because he's small. He's got less advantages, let's say, if he ever moved up to welter.
And just coming back to you before we round things off, any plans to expand the stable? We know your guys are doing good things, but would you like to have a even busier time of it?
No.
No, you happy as you are?
I've got Big Thor, I've got Martin, I've got a young boy, Kieran, the young boy that came to my gym to lose all the weight. That's him been with me 3.5 years now. I'm going to get him. He's going to turn pro in September.
Wow.
But it'll be baby steps with him. But he's so keen, and I mean, if some top fighters had the willingness to train as hard and listen to a much better sport. But no, I'm happy. I mean, more than a few people have phoned me up, asked me would I take some boxers and bring them to Scotland and train them, but I'll maybe do it with one or two. I don't know. Depends. See, I would bring them up to Scotland maybe for a month and see if I can gel with them, they can gel with me. But they need to be top fighters now. They need to be good fighters, and these were two of them were right good fighters, to be fair. So maybe in the future. I'm very busy now. I'm busy now. I'm here. I've been here. I'll have been here a month, and I'm very lucky that it coincides with Martin going to Dubai, or Thor would fit to come to Scotland. So it's worked out well again, thankfully. So just see how things go. I would like the opportunity to train other fighters, but they need to be good established fighters. I know I was going to make it as if I'm old here, but at my time in my career, I don't want to be getting guys that are raw novices. Ryan's the exception, but he's been with me for 3.5 years, and he wouldn't want anybody else to train him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to do what you feel is best for you at this stage, and you don't want to bring someone up right from that base level again, do you, at this stage?
No, I mean, I could, Danny, I could walk away from boxing this afternoon and be very, very happy with what I've achieved in boxing, and probably never have to work again. But I'd be fucking lost if I never had boxing. I don't know what I would do, honestly. You just never know. If somebody phoned up and I think I could do something with that guy, then maybe I'd still like that. I mean, there's one guy in particular that's very keen to work. He's very keen to work with. So we'll see what happens.
And you're up in Iceland at the moment. You've managed to swerve the record-breaking temperatures in the UK. Only
11 degrees here, Danny. You can get a run, no problem here.
A lot of people watching this will be quite envious at the moment, I think.
Oh no! Well, I was over in Dubai last year and this year, and it was. I'm sure it was hotter than that. Last summer certainly was. It was 45s, and
wow.
I mean, it was hot, but it's a different humidity over there. But it's hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people complaining where I come from.
We love to complain, don't we?
No, particularly the Scots. We moan that the sun's not out, and when it comes out, we don't want it out.
Well, thank God you're English like me, Billy.
Well, that's it, pal. Can't help where you were born, can you?
Can't. Brilliant. Really, really appreciate it, mate. I hope things continue to go well out there. And yeah, hopefully see you when you get back.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
All the best, Annie.